Okay. Thank you.
Not that I can really do much.
Merle's part. Let's see,
I'll be like, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So Dan, do you want to stand up there for a second so we can just see what you look like?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine, Diane. Okay, start talking to them.
Talking, you know, I hate to talk. Is this on? No.
Now, yeah, they picked you up though, that's not what you sure is, I picked you up.
Oh, pick me up.
So the camera did.
The camera did, so that means that the owl system picked up my voice.
Correct. Yes. That's.
So when we get to the annual meeting, you're gonna have to phone, but you don't have to turn it on now.
Yeah, I'll go, it's like, as soon as we're done, I'll turn everything on. Yeah.
I see.
Hey, Leanne, what's the big day?
It's October 11th, it's Columbus Day weekend, Saturday, just that. And I have an Airbnb from one.
Hey, folks, it's being recorded, so you know.
Okay, there that's done.
Okay, so is it 6 o'clock? Are we on? Do we have people online? Nobody online? Okay, I'm gonna start our normal meeting, our business meeting, if you will. It is Monday, September 8th, and it is the Lucy Robbins Wells Library Board of Trustees meeting. And I will ask Elizabeth to do a roll call.
Sure. George Bernacco. Kelly DeHaas. Jason Hip. Anna Eddy.
Here.
Pam Canary.
Here.
Colleen Crook.
Here.
George.
And George is here, perfect.
Iris Larson. Leanne Mankey.
Here,
Maureen O'Connor Lyons.
Here.
Chris Riley.
Here.
Christine Shushin.
Here.
Diane Stam.
Here.
Lisa Maxton.
Here.
Karen Benner.
Here.
Sheila Rowell. David Maple.
Here.
And Kim Rada. That's all.
All right, thank you. Anybody online for public participation?
There is not.
Okay, anybody online for board members? Or
There is
trustees?
not.
Okay, thanks. You can watch that for me, I appreciate it. I know it. See any public participation in the room? Okay. We'll go on to town council liaison.
We have met a few times, since the last time you've met. There's nothing that I can think of that is directly connected to the library that would affect the library. And I know you have more important things to do and you're under a time restraint, so if I think of something, at the next meeting, I will bring it up.
Thanks,
Or
Billy.
Council Rod will bring it up.
So you can tell he's a veteran of the annual night meetings and we try to keep our reports a little short, so that we can be done in time to give a brief breather before we start our annual meeting at 7. Secretary's report, George? No report? See, that's nice and short. Approval of minutes from our June meeting that you would have gotten in an email. Any questions or corrections?
I'll make a motion to accept the June 9th, regular meeting minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Ian and Chris. Any discussions? All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Review of the annual calendar. One of the things that I want to put in everybody's mind, right now, well, actually, there's 2 things coming up, but one is staff appreciation. So this is the year that we do staff appreciation. There's been some discussion about trying to get into Pasadena, so we have to figure out how many people are available to go, what happens, what we're doing, and do they have space or accommodations for us. So that's where we are. I will tell you that I went above and beyond in my duties and I've tasted their menu and it's scrumptious. But that's just something to think about, and as a reminder or as information for those that might not have participated in this before, we invite the library staff to come out to dinner with the board. We pay for library staff, board pays their own way. And it's not really a spouse thing, it's the trustees and the staff, so that we can kind of have a little bit of a mixer and meet each other and figure out what happens, or, you know, just get to know each other. So we know what's going on there. And, I believe Lisa and Karen will try to get a head count, and we'll try to figure out if that restaurant can accommodate us and our needs. We like to do it around October. Our October is getting pretty busy, but, we like to do it around then. It's usually a Friday night because the library closes at 5. So we go to wherever,
So we're still looking into.
pass the door.
Okay.
That would be the first,
You have a date?
Oh, we wanted to go somewhere else.
date. I don't have numbers, I don't have a date, I don't have anything else, I'm just trying to put you guys on standby.
Okay.
Then the other thing that's coming up in October is the Hannah concert, so before we finish tonight, I'll look for volunteers to help be on hand to meet and greet and push for cases around that Friday, October 7th.
17.
Oh, that's the, I can't be there.
The jazz.
Yeah.
All right, so, that's what's going on for October. In October, after we go through our elections here and stuff, the board elections, I'll do committee assignments. And so I usually work with the other officers to figure out who's there for different committees. And I think we have some of the responses. If I don't have them, I'll be reaching out to you individually to get them. Maureen nicely collected them for us, and then she moved 4 times, so she's not 100% sure that she's got everyone that was drafted, so
Some older. Somewhere.
don't worry about that. All right, so that's pretty much what's going on with, October. I know we have a friends meeting in October, and I think Anna, you want to?
I'm in charge of that meeting.
October, no.
So I thought it was the beginning of September.
I'm doing September. We
So you're
switched.
doing September and you're doing October?
Yeah, we switched. because she
Okay,
couldn't do it, so I'm gonna do October and
Then
then
in November.
November.
okay, and then we'll have to figure out the rest of the year.
What did I?
Pass something
Did I
around?
send this? I thought this. Oh, well.
All right, so,
Okay, so,
let's
got
make
it.
sure we've got folks set up for those liaison meetings. Anybody who hasn't gone to a friends meeting, you should really try to go to at least one. It's very interesting to see how they run their lives and what happens. It's a little bit different from what we do. But it's always interesting to see how they run stuff. All right, so treasurer's report, Leanne?
In the interest of brevity, I'm not gonna sit there and outline balances for June, July, and August. I will, give you a couple of updates in June's report, if you have any, but certainly if anybody has questions, let me know. In June's report, there is a 5K race recap, which this year was very successful between our large numbers of racers plus our very generous sponsors. After costs, we netted $18,251.39, which basically covers our operating expenses and a little bit more, which is huge. Over the course of the summer, while a lot of people are off and playing, the library is back at it. We funded a number of things, and there's a lot of business activity that happens over the summer, including insurances, business filings, and things like that. I have one more insurance policy to pay for, and then we're up to date for the coming year. I'm just waiting because that renews at the end of the month. And I'm in the process of finalizing the numbers to bring them to the accountant for our IRS 941 and 990 filings. So that will be taken care of by the end of September. We have had this year we've had some really healthy gifts to us, which have increased our investments, which is something that we can utilize now that we're starting as of this month, transferring the income, excuse me, per the agreement. With the hooker, we can't use the principal at all, but we can use the income for unrestricted, and we're starting to transfer into places where we can utilize it rather than leaving it just to sit. But it is still growing. It's just in another growth fund. Other than that, as I said, if you had any questions, there's a lot of detail. I sent it out last week. That's what I have.
Any questions for me at this time? Okay, thank you. Next up, library director's report, Lisa.
Okay. The library, the town went live with the new website, look on Friday. So if you haven't been, please go and look at the new website. So that means our look is new as well. We are gonna probably have to make some tweaks. We were only able to see certain pages while they were doing this, but it's a nice clean look, and hopefully people will like it. So, and we were able to add, like change buttons, and we added some buttons, like one of the buttons we added was register for a program, another button we added was reserve a meeting room space, so they're really front and center now. So that was really nice.
I looked at it, and what I liked, of course, when you first open the page, the library is front and center.
Right, right. So we tried to make some of they frequently used, things on the website are like more front and center, and they're kind of the first things you see. So please.
My
look at it.
understanding is that that's because more people go to the library's website to see, right? Wasn't it based on usage?
No, more, I'm talking about our site specifically. I'm not talking about the towns. I'm not sure. I think the town has buttons based on usage that,
But
they'll
the
go,
library is
right.
number one.
Right, I see what you're saying, yes, at the town site, right, it's based on the frequently used websites, you're right, yeah, for traffic. The summer reading programs concluded, with children's, adults, and teens. I don't have the numbers for the children's and adults in front of me, I'm sorry, but I mean, the adults I do, the teens and children's, I think children's had over 500, teens had close to 200. And adults, we had 732.
Wow.
And that was the highest we've ever had. And they read over 5,000 books, and we had our finale, which had about 90 people. So that was nice too. I baked, 640 cookies for the event. But it was very fun. People enjoy it. I guess I'm just gonna mention it. I'm not trying to take away from Pauline, but that we've been tasked by the state library to update policies, because of a new law that was passed to protect libraries, to prevent people from walking into the library and demanding you remove something from a display or from a collection or a program. So we're working on 4 policies. One is the library material selection policy, reconsideration of materials. We just updated those 2 years ago, but we have to update them again because they have to have very specific language in them now.
Based on state requirements.
Right, based on state requirements. And then we have a new, we'll have a new display policy and a new program policy as well. And those again have to have specific language based on state statutes. So we're working on that, and everything has to be done. The state library has to have all of them approved by boards by November 1st. So that's something I've been working on over the summer.
Okay, so we'll have final copies at the October meeting.
Yes, so we have to send back changes we made for our PEC meeting to the state library. They have to approve them, and then you can approve that once they've said, yes, they look good. And that's about all I have, Diane.
Thank you. Any questions for Lisa? No? Mhm. Assistant Library Director's report, Karen Backer.
Okay, in personnel news, we had a few part-time people that were hired. Kim Flattery was hired for the part-time position in circulation. She replaced Joanna Sistuli, who I think we had mentioned previously had moved from circulation up to the part-time children's position. Abby Hinckley was hired as well as a circulation sub, replacing, I believe, Linda Delibowitz, who we had talked about at the previous meeting. She was a longtime sub that retired. And we had a reference substitute resign, Lynn Dumas. That position has not been filled as of yet. And then the only other thing I was gonna mention is we have started a staff training program. We've been talking about this for a long time, and we've periodically done, a series of staff training, but this is really a formalized program within the library now. And the nice thing about it is that any staff member can participate based on what they might want to share. So it can be anything from technology to, Michelle talked about the homebound service at the last, they're like these little mini training series. Lisa and Carolyn are gonna do, emergency procedures, we lost power, a few weeks ago. So, we're holding them every other week, and it's really been great, because we've always struggled with a way to sort of get, enough staff to attend, because everybody's kind of coming and going, especially part-time at different times. And we're doing it like first thing in the morning as the library opens, and
It's 2 days too.
yeah, 2
different
days, trying to make sure we hit everybody. So somebody may do a Thursday and a Friday, skip a week, and then the week after it might be Monday and Tuesday. So, it's really been nice, and I think it's working well. And that's it. Thank you.
Any questions for Karen? Thank you. I don't see Sheila here.
We can talk about friends, right?
Sure.
Okay, I'll talk about membership, you talk about.
Okay.
Okay. So the friends are in the midst of their membership drive. They sent out membership renewals in August. And anybody who signs up from the point they got that, basically September 1st until October 17th, they get entered into a drawing for a special prize. And then on the 18th, they're having the day after your concert, they're having a friends reception here for friends who are current friends that they've been doing the last few years. It's pretty popular as well. So that's where they are in friendship membership. So if you haven't joined or you due to renew, just keep that in mind. This is the time of year they're doing it, and it's good for a year. Okay.
Thanks, Michelle Roy.
Sure, the book sale will be the 7th, 8th, and 9th, with the 6th being the day that we bring everything over to the senior and disabled center. Yeah,
Okay.
November, yeah, sorry. And then Winterfest will be January 16th, and so we've already started getting some.
And when do tickets go on sale?
I would guess it's gonna be December 1st, but I would hear that from the,
My friends can.
I think, well, yeah, we think the first is the best date, but
yeah,
they might
just boom sell.
right,
Well, they sold out in what, 2.5 days last
11
year?
days.
11 days?
Right.
Felt like 2.5 days. Yeah. It was quick, okay. I'm sorry, what was the date for Winterfest?
January 16th, with a snow date, I believe, of the 23rd.
Thank you both for covering that. Any questions for Michelle or Lisa? Okay, committee reports. I'm gonna assume there's no budget
No
report.
budget report.
Pep, Pauline Cook.
We have seen this before, the board member emeritus position, and the reason why we held off was, the election procedure or description, and was the second to the last sentence. I worked on it, and then, we had a meeting, the PEP committee to finalize the sentence. To read it, if there's any questions, problems with it, this is now the time to change it, because I don't want to see the sentence again for the next 4 or 5 years. It was the most convoluted sentence I have ever participated in putting together. So if there's no other questions, we approved the rest of this stuff at the previous meeting, but this is the one that we were working on. So if there's no problems with the way it's written, I would like to vote on this.
Vote on accepting the policy.
Yeah. To put it in our policy and procedure manual.
Okay,
So,
do you want to make a motion?
yes, I would like to make a motion that we, as the library board, accept this new policy for the board member emeritus position.
I'll second it. It's Maureen.
Sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Those are
Better
my.
not. I'm not kidding, this sentence was previously.
She just wants it done.
All right, thank you. So the emeritus position will now be part of our.
Sorry,
Yeah,
excuse me, I didn't have a chance to review until Pauline started talking. Why is there still a requirement that whoever is emeritus still has to participate?
And made participate. it participates in state.
Participates in one or more library board activities, events, volunteerism, fundraising, government relations.
It wouldn't be,
They're not mandatory.
no,
So, so here's the thought, if you wanted to be emeritus and you wanted to, share your knowledge with the board, you're welcome to come in and participate as an emeritus board member, which is different from the general public. If you retire from the board, or resign from the board, you're pretty much off the board. And while we always accept public participation, it's a little bit different level of public participation.
Shouldn't read it has the option to participate.
I would take that as a friendly amendment.
I think that second paragraph, it says the board member emeritus shall be entitled to, and so I assume that would be, shall be entitled to participate, entitled to attend, and entitled to, and encouraged to attend all our other events. So it's not really saying that they have to, but they're entitled to, that they can if they want to.
And does it say entitled to now? I'm sorry, I think
It
that.
says entitled on the bottom, and then number 5 says participates in one or more library
Yeah.
activities. So it still has a requirement of
Yeah, so
participation.
for eligibility.
You want me to remove the number 5?
Just amend it.
But my whole thing was, you want to be Americans, you have to do something.
The eligibility says in order to be considered. And it says participates in one or more. It just,
Well, then once they're considered in part of it, then they don't have to.
Right.
So that's
what are the
okay.
Requirements for consideration.
oh, I got it, okay.
So
Oh,
Sorry.
So-
they would have to be, yeah, so that, this is correct.
Right.
this is
Yeah.
right. This is right.
Leading up to that position, they would have to do those
Have
things.
been participating.
Okay,
Sorry.
Okay.
no problem. All right, good now as it is.
Good
Sorry.
as is.
Good as is. All right, so the motion carries and we accept the policy as is. Thank you.
And I'll be forwarding to Lisa the electronic. So that you can.
Super. Thank you. Any other comments? Would you want to talk about any of the, stuff Lisa touched on or no?
It. The meeting was basically, for the review of the, policies the state has, passed legislation to protect, basically it's to protect the libraries and the library board. So that if someone comes in from the town, who has a library card and is a Newington resident, and they, ask that material or programming, be removed. The library director talks to the, state librarian, talks to head of CLA, so it's just a third person.
So it's a matter of just standardizing
Right,
across the
right,
state.
right.
If somebody questions material that's in the
Right.
library, whether it be a
There's a
book
procedure,
or.
there's a policy in place and a
Procedure
procedure
or
in place that
something.
everyone has to follow to handle any kind of.
So every
challenge.
library handles it the same.
Yeah,
Right, so.
It goes
we
through the
won't have
same
those
process or
towns.
policy.
Yeah, so we won't have those core towns that have been, hijacked by their, or
Yes.
library boards.
All right, so our revisions are at the state for approval, but we've dotted every I and put every statute.
yeah,
in
they
that
have to
need
do
us
the
have.
final, and then I'll send, as soon as that, I get it back, I'll send it to Pauline. and we
To
can
send
send
it.
it off.
And hopefully I'll be able to, if my computer will allow me to send, I think
Early, too.
that the amount of paperwork was so much, my computer just would not convert it and send it out. If I have another problem.
Okay, so ideally, they'll be approved and they'll be sent out before the October meeting,
Yeah.
and that's when
Yeah.
we'll make the official vote to amend our policies so they follow the state
I'll try to
regulations.
get them out like a week, like in your hand a week before the meeting, so you can actually read through them, you know,
Super.
read through them.
So they're not that different than before, but it's just a codification and where it's located in the state law.
Okay. Any questions for Pauline on top? I'm sorry, Pauline, that's it. That was it, okay. No? Okay, investments, Kelly told me that she has a teacher conference, it's already that time of year. To be able to talk to the curriculum and stuff, so she's hoping to be here closer to 7. I don't think we have anything specific in investments, other than that, we did, as Leanne mentioned, move the interest money from one of our accounts around, so that we can track it as it grows and spend that part down there. How's that for a non-investment person, investment report?
Good, I don't have to talk.
Okay, House Committee, me, Diane, Sam, I have nothing to report at this time. Just move forward with that. Oh, you want me to talk about the curtains? Okay, so you may notice that the balance is down finally, so, we're in the process of measuring and
They're in my
Yes.
in my sewing room.
getting our seamstress to have time to put them together for us.
We have fabric, we have the pieces. And facilities will put them back up for us.
Okay. We just need to get them made. After the wedding?
If I need a break, it might be a 3 o'clock in the morning project, but no, we'll see.
Who do I have to call?
The only other thing that would be the potential door.
Yeah, so. If you guys have gone by the front of the door or not, our historic Churchill door is in very sad shape. And, Leanne has been doing some research with some construction companies and with some grants to look at getting that door repaired, splashed, replaced.
Restored.
Restored. That's the word I'm looking for, getting that door restored. It's an expensive proposition, so we are looking at grant options, and we are, kind of shopping it around to see the best way to get that door restored and,
Facilities is very much involved too. Joe's been really helpful in giving us names to work with and things like that. We have some quality contractors who've submitted pricing, so we can try and pursue grants before we go, because the number's a lot larger than you'd anticipate. If you go out there, it's quite an involved millwork. And and we are a National Historic Register. So we have to comply with certain things to bring it back.
that's the end of my house report. Any other questions? No? Thank you. We'll move on to facility and site with Christopher Riley.
All right, so facility and site, we actually were kind of fairly busy over the summer, had several meetings. We had a couple of meetings of joint communications and facility and site. Main intent behind those was to try to, I'll say, draft down like a message, like an elevator pitch of what we would want to be able to communicate to the broader public regarding the library expansion. In addition to figuring out where and how we're going to talk to the various people. So we had a couple of meetings on that. We also had a LARC meeting in July, where the structural engineer firm presented their report for the library. That's one of the things that we need for the Connecticut State Library Grant. Basically, the end result from that report is just as we thought. They just did it on the historical part of the building. And the first floor is not loaded for books, but as long as we're not using it for, the library, stuff, like we're using it now, we're just using it for magazines and historical, that's okay. Second floor is rated for, I think it's the 150 pounds per square foot, if I remember. So they provided that report, and we've since, LARC has passed on. We asked some questions regarding that as well at the LARC meeting. We had a couple of grant discussion meetings in August, just with Sonia and Alice, I believe is the other person. Just talk about our options. We talked about like the Churchill door. Another thing we talked about is the sign out front that we have, where we were looking into the electronic versus the letters there. So that was another thing that we had discussed out there, as well as just looking at what the grant opportunities are, because obviously we got to look to the future towards when we look for larger grants for when we're looking at the library expansion. And beyond that, it's just we you know, we've been just having, I think, just some discussions as well between us and the architect and just, because we're continuing on towards, I know, as far as town council's looking for is our conceptual design and just seeing where we can proceed with that, so.
Options.
Yeah. So, as I said, we had quite, I'm looking at my list here, right? We had quite a few meetings during the summer regarding that, and I'm sure that we'll have many more coming up, especially as we try to progress into next year when we hopefully will be on referendum.
Okay. Thank you. Fund development, Hannah Eddie.
Yeah, so I don't really have too much to report. I did give everybody a handout. And if you read the first paragraph, you will have read that this is my last board meeting because I'm not going to accept another term. My term ends next month. And, I think it's a good time for me to step away after 20 years. This list is, on the handout are those items that I think are of significant importance for the board to consider with my exit and, mostly replacement. Somebody to take over responsibility, but the other thing that we are spending money on and are not getting any value out of is item number 6. We have a subscription to Constant Contact. It was, when Fiona was on the board, it was her intent to reach out to people who volunteered to join our mailing list, to receive communication from the board regarding the expansion. But it's never been utilized. And, you know, I had brought this up a year ago. I don't know that if anybody has remembered, but if it's not going to be used, we should just cancel.
I agree with you. We pay for it every month, but I don't have the ability to get in and cancel it. So I think we have to do it through Lisa because it's under your credit card.
I have it.
Okay. So if you can help get that done before you're officially gone?
You want me to cancel it? Okay.
Yeah, I believe that was the decision a while ago. We went through, right, George? You didn't have any use for it.
Experience with it, so.
No one.
So to make it official, shall we take a vote on whether or not, we're in agreement to cancel the Constant Contact?
I'll make a motion to discontinue the subscription to Constant Contact.
Second.
Thank you. So Leanne made it and George seconded it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anything else, Anna?
No, it just,
The list that we'll have to figure out.
yeah, some of this you can, we'll probably just discuss in October.
Thank you, and thank you for providing the sheet. That's very helpful. All right, nominations. Maureen, you have all the paperwork for later this evening?
Yeah, we're all done. Ballots have been passed out. I haven't collected them all, but
Okay. So if you still have a ballot, get it to Maureen at our break. Communications, George?
Not much to add, other than it's covered. I know we talked about in our meeting about the video. Kind of as a overview of what the library offers, what the library needs. We talked about having an elevator pitch, and also, as Chris mentioned. And then also leading somebody to our website, have a video and say, this is the needs of the library, this is what I need of the library. So that's something we're talking about within communication, expressing kind of, you know, since a lot of people take tours of the library, but not everybody takes a tour of all the areas that need fixing up. So we suggest we kind of, through research, came up with that idea of researching of the library to see if that would be a valuable to this library. So that's something that we discussed in communications.
Great. Any questions?
I just want to compliment the library for putting out the video that has the various languages. I sat there and watched, I was fascinated, and I hope other people were too, about the various languages that we're able to service people.
I like that, that's great.
Yeah, and things like that, I think those are the kind of things that draw people in, because I mean, I know the library, and I was like, okay, this is great.
So we do, I was gonna say, Michelle Patno put that together. We do have someone on staff who's really good with videos and stuff.
Super. Thank you. Old that's it, right, George?
Yeah, that's it.
So then we go into old business, which would be the annual meeting that comes up in 25 minutes. 20 minutes, we should better room for that. We do have the recognitions. And it's always nice when somebody besides me is up here speaking. Thank you very much. So I'm looking for, volunteers to come up and read. So for me, count them. We have 1, 2, 3, I'll call them corporate. And we have 1, 2, 3 staff folks. So 1 is Triumph Group Charitable Foundation and Grant.
What?
The Triumph Group Charitable Foundation and Grant.
I'll
It's a Chris's company. Yep. Do you want to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay. So we'll have Chris do that. Race recognition, Kingston Wealth Management.
Sure, why not? Whatever. Oh, she can do it.
No, it's all right, I can take some of the others, it's all right, I can go wherever.
Can do it.
So Kingston Wealth Management, is one, and then Dharma Drum, is the other corporate.
I'll do Dharma.
And you'll do Dharma. I'm leaving Kingston for now, because it could be either one of you. So then we have Janet Jeanette, sorry, outstanding library volunteer. You'll do it? Okay. And George, I saw your hand up. How about, doing Betty Cappy? She's another, library employee.
Sure.
Great, thank you. And last but not least is Dave Brown.
Sure.
You wanna do Dave or you wanna do Kingston? We could have go either way.
I'm gonna be up there for treasurer anyway, so I don't have to do any of them, but we've got people who wanna do it.
Dave,
You'll take Dave?
why not?
I can do Kingston if you want.
Yeah, somebody has to do Kingston.
I will do Kingston. Saw somebody else wrote it, I'll do it.
Somebody else wrote it.
And what about the legacy split?
The inductees, actually, we reached out and nobody's here, so I will call them off, but.
Yeah.
I'll just call them off as part of the meeting. We don't have people coming up. Nobody, is attending the meeting this evening.
Right, so we,
Would you like to read them off?
I can make them up, if we appropriate.
Either way, I was gonna do it as part of our thing, or you can do it. I'll have to make a copy of my page or something,
Doesn't
or I'll
matter.
just give it to you. Because we're up here, I'll point. What it is if you'd like. That's it for the recognition and the people that will be talking there. You strongly want to do the legacy, or, I mean,
There
they're.
can't be my last hurrah, right?
Sure, you can say that. I wasn't sure if you were offering because you wanted to make sure it was covered or you wanted to speak. So if you wanted to speak, I'll give that portion over to you, to come up. Okay. Good, thank you. We have that. Staff appreciation, again, and if there's other restaurants that you think of, you know, it's really nice if you're gonna do something to appreciate folks that you try to do what they have asked for. So we are gonna try and do the Casador. If it doesn't work out, we'll be looking for other options. So whether those other options come from staff or things that the board has approached or thought of.
Has anybody actually spoken to Casador about their, how many people they accommodate in a private room?
Not yet. not yet.
Do they even have a private?
They do have a private room. I was in there, last week. So they have a private room that looks smaller than this. And then they have the outdoor, and I don't know if the outdoor would be reserved depending on how many people, or if that inner room spills out into the outdoor room. So we haven't had the first investigative conversations, and we have to kind of try to figure out who would be available. So I'm counting all, sitting trustee members. First go around, we don't have dates, so I realize that, you know, if it ends up being a date that you've gotta. Okay. Thank you. That works.
Just one question, what do we usually have, about 60 people?
No,
No, not
not that many.
I would say,
What, 40?
yeah, no more than 40.
Okay.
And that includes trustees, or is that, okay?
Didn't seem like more than that.
Okay, so we'll have to, and then just a reminder that, Perfido and Humbert Jazz Ensemble is the Hanel concert, and it's October 17th, Friday night. So I know some people are gonna be out of town. Anybody else know that they're going to be here and assisting? I'll be here. Pauline?
I'll probably be here again, probably at the start.
Okay.
I can help set up, yes. George.
George, okay.
He's very excited about coming.
Is he? Good, yeah. That'd be nice.
He's been sending messages all summer.
That's great. That's great. So I have Chris, Pauline, George, Maureen, myself. Anyone else? And we've got some early people and then some late people, because we have to set up, but then we have to, put it back at the end of the night. Okay. Then the next thing would be open board positions. So, think of folks that you know. We'll have both corporate and we may have, is it 2 corporate? We have 3 corporate, because we had an open corporate. And, right now we have 1 Republican open, but depending on what's going on with elections, we might have more than 1 Republican, position open. So, we'll see what happens there. Can only serve on 1 board at a time, so we have a couple of people that are on our board that are running for either town council or board of ed.
We ostensibly will have 5 open positions, possibly 1.
So that,
If we have 2,
no, for running for the, what, who's?
Kelly
Kelly
and
DeHaas and Jason Hill.
Jason are running for town positions,
Oh,
Board of Ed and Town Council. If they're elected,
okay.
then they can't
They have to
serve.
resign.
Okay.
All right, so, you know. Keep your eyes and ears open if there's somebody you think that would be there. New business, do we have anything for new business at this point? Okay, good. Public participation, is there anybody online?
There is not.
No one online, okay, thank you. Dave, anything that you wanted to add from here?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
All right, thank you. Then we can have a motion to adjourn our special business meeting. Nobody ever lets me finish that, and it's adjournment motion. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Somebody has to channel Dennis to it.
That's right. Well, I used to just invite us to do it. So we are adjourned from our, special business meeting. Please stick around at 7 o'clock. We will start our.
You gotta remember.